everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Toku, Boston and Bellingham's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all their kaiju friends. I am your host, David.
I am Brian, the second host.
The second host?
As usual.
You're combining multiple bits at once. You got to make up your mind on these things.
No, I can't. I have too many. I got to use them all at once.
Well, that just ruins the bit. Because then no one else, you won't have any more bits to use.
I think you're wrong.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm no comedian, but I'm just giving you my advice. You don't have to take it.
Good, I'm not gonna.
Shocker. Truly. Big shocker.
Anytime you tell me to do anything, I never do it.
This is true. I should have expected this. I mean, it's been however many years, insert number. I should know by now.
Like, honestly, I don't know why you're surprised with me when I don't do the thing you ask me to do.
It's less surprise and more disappointment.
That's fair. All right. Well, we have a very special episode today, Dave, don't we?
We do. We've been teasing it for months and months and months. Today, we're actually going to be airing, I guess, the interview we did with Kaiju United co-founder Jacob Lingle. Lingle is not actually here in the intro because we recorded the interview months ago. I suppose we could have gotten him on for this, doing the intro and outro, but we're kind of working off a time limit here, so we decided let's just not even bother.
We'll go in and blitz it.
Exactly. So that being said, we're just going to roll right through the news. This is unprecedented in Talking Toku history. Can't believe we're getting started this quickly. Honestly, it's kind of nuts.
I mean, it takes me actually being in a rush to actually like keep us on focus, focus, you know?
Who would have thought?
It's fucking weird.
All right.
And also, if the rest of the interview sounds weird, it's because I was on a shitty mic during the interview, and now I have a cool new mic.
That's true. That was the old mic.
So it might be a little jarring.
Dark. That's okay. I'm sure it'll sound fine.
Yeah, that was all the way back in season 2.
What is with you in this season bit, Ryan?
I don't know.
It's not even funny. And we don't even have official seasons. I don't get it.
I don't know.
This is also not the first time I've called you on it. Anyway.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay. Have fun, I suppose. It's harmless fun. Anyways, let's get right into the news. Real quick, while there doesn't seem to be any official announcement yet, like it did... I mean, I'm sure some will happen eventually, considering it's a little over a month away. Right off the heels of Fathom Events screening Godzilla against Mechagodzilla last year, it appears as though they will be screening its sequel, Godzilla Tokyo SOS, this year on March 22nd. I'm not entirely sure what the occasion is. Just to follow up the previous film, I don't really know. As far as I know... I mean, did the movie come out on March 22nd? I don't think so. I mean, I really don't know. It just, again, like there's no official announcement or anything. Yeah, Tokyo SOS came out in December, so I really don't know why they're screening it then. Oh well, but hey, fingers crossed it doesn't look all weird and stuttery this time around, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, hopefully not. That was weird, and I hated that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've looked at the good old Atom app, and it's playing in 2 theaters in my area, and I don't even recognize the names of them. So I don't think I'm going to be going to see Godzilla Tokyo SOS in theaters, which is a shame.
That sucks.
But Brian, if you can,
it probably isn't going to be airing around here either.
I did see that they were going to be showing Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex in front of it. Hopefully that means they'll also be showing the other 50th anniversary Gigan short. Who knows?
That would be cool.
It would be.
All right. Well, our second news story for this week, a trailer for the 3rd and final season of everyone's favorite Ultraman thing, Netflix's Ultraman, has dropped, and boy, am I not looking forward to covering this. Season 2 has left a bad taste in my mouth for the series, not to mention just how much the original manga is compared to the anime. Thankfully, it's the final season, so we won't have to do it ever again. We get a look at Mephisto, the series take on alien Mephiles, who looks to be the main villain of this season. Looks cool at the very least. Yeah, the show
Yay.
kind of sucks.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't mind the first season. I thought it was at least a little entertaining, but yeah, that second season was boring.
It was.
And
I mean,
didn't
hopefully, because it's the final season, you'd think it wouldn't. They'd try to make it as not boring as possible, you know. So,
Yeah.
I want to like it, but I don't think I'm going to.
The trend points to it not being very good.
Exactly. Yeah. But
So I'm going to just roll with that and come to terms with the fact it's not going to be good.
oh well.
And any amount of hoping isn't going to change that.
Well, you know what? We'll find out when we inevitably cover the season. Whenever it drops out this year, I can't remember. I want to say
so
March, but I don't remember.
I'm
You
so
sound
excited.
very excited, Brian. You really do. All right.
I'm shaking with anticipation.
Oh, I can hear it in your voice. You're so pumped.
I'm so pumped.
Moving on, we also got a trailer for Yuzo, The Biggest Battle in Tokyo, the new film from Attack of the Giant Teacher director Yoshikazu Ishii. Yuzu is a comedic kaiju film satirizing the COVID-19 pandemic. Fingers crossed it doesn't come on too strong like most things that talk about COVID, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot of stuff that, like, you know, it's like COVID-19 like commentary, but it's always so like heavy-handed and cringy.
Hey Brian, remember when we watched the Resident Evil Netflix series and they name dropped COVID like 3 or 4 times?
Oh my god, I do remember that.
It's not like COVID.
Do you remember when they set up a second season and then it got immediately canceled?
Thank God it did.
Yeah.
That's all I have
The
to
only
say.
thing I'll miss is Wesker. That's it.
Honestly, same. I will say the one thing I remember seeing from the trailer for this movie is Yuzo, the monster. So his design is like kind of based off like the actual what the virus cell looks like for COVID, and he was like sucking up everyone's masks. It was kind of funny.
What?
Yeah,
That's his power?
I guess. I don't know.
He's a vacuum cleaner.
He's a vacuum cleaner. My guess is that
How much would I bet
SRS
that at the end of the movie, the lesson of the film was that humanity was the virus all along?
I would hope that's not the case. I have way more faith in Ishii than that. I don't think he'd do that, but who knows?
No. I still need to watch Attack of the Giant Teacher. I remember
do.
seeing a trailer for it, and it looked hilarious.
It's a lot of fun. It's short too. It's only like 70 minutes long, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I want to watch more weird movies.
Definitely should.
All right. Well, moving on to our fourth news story. A bit of relatively old news, but some that's only just now made it over here. Legendary voice actor Ted Thomas passed away on November 26th at the age of 93. While there's no word of how he died, 93 is admittedly pretty old, so it can be assumed it was simply natural causes. Thomas was known for his various dubbing roles in tokusatsu cinema, perhaps most famously for the Secretary of Children's Land, Kabuta, in Godzilla vs. Gigan, as well as roles in The Secret of the Telegion.
I want to say it's Telegian because the plot of the movie is like television signals.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay, so the Secret of Telegion, Atragon, and Gamera vs. Barugon, that movie rocks, as well as a number of martial arts films such as Fist of Fury and Snake in the Eagle Shadow. I think I've actually seen Fist of Fury.
Yeah, it's I think it's a Bruce Lee movie, I believe.
Yeah, I think I've definitely seen that. That sounds.
I don't know.
I mean, that being said, there's a lot of martial arts movies with the words "fist" and "fury" in it.
True.
So,
this is very
so
true.
I don't. Yeah, that's a bummer. That sucks.
It is. I mean, he's been retired for a long time, but I mean,
Yeah. And 93 is old, so,
yeah, it is. But he definitely left his mark on the genre for sure. I mean, those movies I mentioned, that's only a small handful of the ones he did. Like there are many more than that, but I mean, like again, Kubota in Godzilla vs. Gigan is definitely the most popular because he's just like a main character. I think he played the villain. I want to say he dubbed the villain in Gamera vs. Baragon, Onodera, but I don't know for sure. I'd have to double check. I might just be talking out of my ass, which is, hey, that's what most of this show is. But
yep.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Ted
Talking
Thomas.
out of both our asses.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Final news story. As we predicted, Ultraman Decker finale Journey to Beyond will indeed be premiering online at Ultraman Connection later this month on February 23rd. We probably won't do a whole episode on it like we did for because we didn't do an episode for the Trigger film.
Unless it's really good.
Unless it's really, really good, which, hey, I mean, Ultraman Decker was really, really good, so
yeah,
maybe it will be really good. But also, I watched Ultraman Orb and really, really liked that, and then the Orb movie was really kind of disappointing. So
well, that sucks.
But that was Orb also came out in like 2012 or something, I want to say. So it's been a while. Maybe they've
old.
You never know. I mean, maybe they've honed the craft a little bit more. Anyways,
damn, I can't believe they're dropping it the same day that Destiny 2 Lightfall comes out.
It's also 3 days before my birthday, so I'm getting a cool birthday present from Tsuburaya. Thanks, guys.
I'm getting a late birthday present from Subaraya.
Yeah, thankfully you have a present coming from me today.
Oh my god, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You can open it today, or you can wait till your birthday. It's up to you, Brian. I won't care either way.
I'm probably just gonna open it today because I'm impatient.
All right, I can't wait.
I'm gonna buy you a Steam game on your Steam wish list. Okay. So tell me what you want later.
Buy me that $2,000 video game that everyone keeps memeing.
The scam one?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Buy me that one.
That would be like an investment. That's like the biggest joke investment ever.
I know. I don't even know what that game is.
That's a joke game to buy. You know, like how like Keegan, a mutual friend of ours, Keegan bought me a Garfield cart a while back as a meme
Garfield
gift.
Kart's a great game. Everyone loves Garfield.
Yeah,
Kart.
but he bought it for me as a meme gift, and it is a good game. But the $2,000 scam game is like that, except unplayable, and it's a joke game to buy if you're rich.
Which neither.
Sorry, that was a very long-winded way to get out what I was trying to say.
You're the one, and you're the one who requested a time limit here, Brian. You're the one talking all long.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sorry, listeners. I'm very busy. I'm cooking for 6 people tonight.
That's your own.
You try to do this. I bet you can't.
Fault, Brian.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all we have for the news, and I was gonna say we don't have anything for the r/Godzilla segment, which we don't, but we've kind of, as you guys have noticed in the past recently, we've kind of expanded beyond r/Godzilla to just kind of complain about what Godzilla fans in general have been saying, and so we got a little bit more information on Gamera Rebirth, the upcoming Netflix series. No plot information, but more information on who's working on the series. And the director of the series is Hiroyuki Seshida. Now, Brian, do you recognize the name Hiroyuki Seshida?
Not really.
That's what I thought. Well, let me tell you, he has directed 3 Godzilla films in the past. And those Godzilla films are not exactly well-received films. Those would be Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters, Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle, and Godzilla the Planet Eater.
Gross.
See, that's the thing. People are like, oh my god, I can't believe they got this guy to direct. Gamera, those are like the worst Godzilla movies ever. Gamera Rebirth's gonna suck. Oh my fucking god, I can't believe we waited this long for a shitty Gamera. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Holy shit.
Just because like one thing that he did isn't to your liking doesn't mean everything he ever makes is going to be garbage.
Exactly. And also like he directed the films. He didn't like I don't think he wrote the films.
No. A lot of people don't know that, actually.
Yeah.
That the directors didn't write the screenplay.
Right?
It's like making a movie is a collaborative process. Like the director, like he's working towards an overall vision, but he didn't write the script. Like some do, but you know.
Yeah, and he's done other things. Like I don't know if I've made this clear on the show, but I'm not really an anime guy. But he directed Knights of Sidonia, which I believe is pretty well received. I don't know for sure, but I've heard people actually do quite like that series. And he's also doing a Lupin the Third film coming out later this year, and and I see my DCM co-host Howard just pumping his fist about that. But yeah, so he's directing that, and listen, I know it's like impossible for Godzilla fans to keep an open mind about fucking anything, but just this one, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, yeah, it was not written by the director.
No.
Screenplay by Gen Urobuchi,
who I think is also like a pretty well-renowned writer for like manga. Yeah.
Also, I think people need to like realize that just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's like objectively bad.
Exactly.
I mean, like I didn't really like the Polygon trilogy because of the creative decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like it, and I didn't like the animation. I don't really ever want to watch them again because I didn't like them. But I'm sure there are people out there that thought that take on Godzilla was super cool. Yeah, I thought that some parts of it was pretty cool too. I just didn't really vibe with the whole thing.
Yeah, again, you know? I stand by the fact that the world building in those films is like top tier. It is one of the most interesting universes we've seen Godzilla in. It's just that like pretty much everything else, like story wise and character wise, it didn't go too well. But
yeah.
Overall,
I really do think that the premise of humanity having to leave Earth because of Godzilla is really cool.
It is, and I stand by that.
That's really cool.
I stand by that. Planet Eater Ghidorah is one of the coolest fucking versions of Ghidorah we've ever gotten. He is a interdimensional celestial god demon. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like I have to like him because he's basically as close as we're gonna get to like an eldritch god.
Exactly. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's all it is. Just don't worry about Gamera Rebirth being bad. Just keep an open mind. You're gonna watch it anyways. Let's be honest.
Yeah. People just gotta chill.
Exactly. I mean,
just chill out. Like it's not even out. It's probably not even done being produced.
Yeah,
it's probably still in its creation process. Like just chill out. Yeah. And even if it's not good, you still have some top tier Gamera movies to watch.
Exactly. It's just like I know
it's not the end of the world.
It's come to the point of this segment where everything we cover in the segment just boils to just chill, just wait until it comes out. But it's
literally the that video of the dude going, "Daddy, chill," and then the old guy going, "What in the hell is even that?" That's us. I don't know if you know the video I'm talking about.
It sounds vaguely familiar. I mean, I think I've seen the "what the hell is even that," but not the daddy chill part.
Yeah, no, we're the dude who says "daddy chill," and then the Godzilla fans are the ones going, "What in the hell is even that?"
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Or another example that more people will know of is the "Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?"
Oh yeah, that's a good.
You're the news anchor, and then the Godzilla fans are the little kid.
I don't see how that tracks, but sure, I guess.
Well, because the news anchor after the little kid says that, he's like, "Where are your parents?"
Oh, I
And
guess
I feel like that's
that
very
tracks. Yeah, that definitely tracks. Hey, so Brian, remember how shitty G-Fest was to artists last year, where they couldn't sell Godzilla art unless it was officially licensed?
I do remember that.
Yeah, they made it worse this year.
Oh,
Now people can't sell fan art of any kind.
are you kidding?
No, apparently that's the case, according to Matt Frank. Which I don't think G-Fest knows how conventions typically work for artists.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Like one of the biggest components of G Fest is literally just the art hall. That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's fucking insane. Like I don't know. I guess they're just not going to do the artist alley at all. That because like that's what people sell at the artist alley is fan art, because that's what most people make. That's why they're at G Fest. That's why they're at conventions. Period. Because they do fan art for this thing.
Shitty.
It's ridiculous.
That
God,
is
I fucking
shitty.
hate G Fest.
Wow. Yeah, that's such a bummer.
But hey, we got All Monsters Attack coming up, which I'm definitely going to be there. Brian may or may not be there. We'll see.
Yeah, just had to pay for repairs on my car that were not cheap. So
Yeah, but
it's
cross your
making it a
fingers.
little bit more difficult to justify going, but I'm still thinking about it. I still got a little bit of time before I decide.
Yep. So, but hey, if you're going to All Monsters Attack, we keep saying this, I know, but I'm going to say it again. If you're going to All Monsters Attack in Chicago in May, you'll definitely see me there. Come say hi. Tell me you're a fan of the podcast, and maybe I'll give you a sticker or something. Because hey, Talking Toku got stickers now, so if you want one, send us a tweet or something, and we'll DM you and get your address, and we'll send you a cool sticker.
Yeah, but before we send them, we'll take off the back of it so that it'll stick to the box.
Stick to the envelope. That'd be funny. It'd be
Yeah.
shitty too, but it'd be funny.
You can't do anything about it, and it's
Yeah.
just to inconvenience you.
Yeah, now that you can cut it out with the envelope, and you'll just have like a little tiny poster, I guess.
Yeah, and then you just have to make it a sticker again. What you have to do is you just put a little piece of Scotch tape on the back.
Yeah, or some glue, some school
It'll-
glue.
But whatever you put it on, it'll be lifted up just a little bit so
Yeah.
that it annoys you.
God, we're terrible people.
We really are terrible people.
All right,
We don't do anything bad. We just talk about like inconveniencing
I know.
people.
That's the funniest kind of being terrible, though. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's it for that segment. So we're going to move on to our main topic, which is our interview with Kaiju United co-founder Jacob Lingle. So, hey, past David and Brian, take it away.
Future Talking Toku out. See ya.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talking Toku, Boston and Bellingham's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all their kaiju friends. I am your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And
As
we have a
usual.
very, very special guest with us today to interview. I know it's been a long time since we've done an interview. Sir, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Jacob Lingle. I do panels about Godzilla at Salt Lake Comic Con FanX, and I am the founder of Kaiju United Facebook group and soon to be KaijuUnited.com.
Yeah, so Jacob here is going to be kind of just talking to us today about the origins of Kaiju United, and you know its humble beginnings to where it is now. We've obviously kind of teased this episode in the past a couple times, and then we'll have a sort of a part 2 episode as well with your partner in this, Sean, correct?
Yep, that's Sean. Do we need to introduce him in the next episode, or do you want me to kind of familiarize
You can familiarize
audience with this guy?
our listeners with him.
Yeah, Sean is an old school metalhead. He's one of my best friends. Definitely knows his stuff. Wrote for Fangoria, Screen Anarchy, a lot of film festival junkets. So definitely the United part of Kaiju United will really exemplify with this kind of partnership we have. So, like, you got me, I'm just kind of a fan. I do panels, but I'm still kind of just some dude. I don't write professionally or anything yet. But, and then you have Sean, this guy that's written for professional outlets like Fangoria, like I just said. Um, and the two of us kind of unite the two separate sides of the fandom together. The big boy pros that know their stuff and just casual fans.
Yeah. So yeah, be on the lookout for that episode in the probably the next episode from after this one. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I think it's gonna be a really, really cool time, I think.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for everything related to Kaiju United. Aren't you, Brian?
I am also excited. I am excited about everything having to do with Kaiju in general. So a whole ass website.
Man,
I'm psyched.
so convincing.
Yeah.
And I believe David is contributing something to this website as well. So you might want to look out for that, listeners.
That's true.
Wow.
I may have teased that. I don't remember. I think I did, but this is me teasing it again. Me and Jacob, he's saving my ass here.
It's Godzilla fan art. That's what it is.
God, no, I wish. I can't fucking
Lots
draw.
of Godzilla fan art.
It's erotic Godzilla fan art.
Oh no.
No, I think that's a little too out there for what the site's trying to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Like, I just appreciate that professionals, and usually people think some of these higher tier knowledgeable guys are out of reach, but I think this is a great opportunity for the community to just come together. So I think it kind of shatters that expectation that I'm not trying to name any names here because we keep it cool here. But just like some of the bigger guys that you might think are gatekeepers, they're really nice people and they just know their stuff. I think there needs to be a change of culture where you share that knowledge with others and introduce them to new stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
We completely agree here because we've talked about gatekeeping, the actual gatekeeping, not the appearance gatekeeping. So bringing the knowledge base closer to the ground is probably best for the community.
For sure. So, Jacob, my friend, my pal, my compadre, what's
now a friend of the show?
Now, yeah, you are officially a friend of the show.
I'm a friend of Talking Toku.
You are a friend.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of our back catalog you have actually listened to, but multiple times we have referred to our pal Jared Faust Xenofauna as a friend of the show. Like we will go like, oh, friend of the show Jared, and now you're friend of the show Jacob. So congratulations on
Jays, you gotta diversify.
What's up with you guys and J names though? Like you need another friend of the show that's not a J name.
You know what the funny thing is? Our first ever episode, one of my friends was just here at the station, and we asked, "Hey, do you want to be on this episode?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." His name was Jake.
Yep.
So
yeah, you're talking Toku.
He is also
really likes
a friend of the
those
show.
J names, man.
yeah. Well, hey, Sean, that's an S name, so we'll break that curse soon. Don't you worry.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. You're gonna destroy the shackles with
Yeah.
the Sean.
Thank God. All right. Well, yeah. So Mr. Kaiju United himself, kind of this is kind of your show, my friend. Tell us, kind of walk us through like what led you to kind of trying to cultivate this community that you've worked actually very, very hard to create.
Well, as some of you may know that are friends with me, I was a admin of several kaiju Facebook groups throughout the decade. I had a stint at the old Toho Kaiju Union for a good 8 or 9 years before that fell through. And I was just kind of looking for my own group to kind of cultivate because in my years of adminning, there was a few things I just didn't agree with. Like a lot of these groups are really tight with language, and I just don't really care as long as it's like not hurtful slang or just we're all mostly adults in these groups, so just be responsible with it, I think. But I was just kind of farming like how to approach a group to modernize it because Facebook's kind of on the way out, I think. So I was looking to make a group, but something in another group kind of happened, and I don't want to go, throwing poop at the walls at other groups, but they kind of mishandled how ignorant some of the fans can be towards other members of the community, and I'm an all-inclusive guy, so that really rubbed me the wrong way. So I think the catalyst was really that I was like, all these groups claim to be inclusive and anti-bullying, but they'll let people get away with harassment because it's not a direct slang, and I wasn't cool with that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's always like bad apples in any and every fandom. That's just the sad and unfortunate truth of the matter. But I mean, as one of the, first members of Kaiju United myself, I mean, I think that you and I don't even know if I know who else is adminning that Facebook group off the top of my head, but I think you and whoever else has done so far a phenomenal job of really sticking to those core values of what you just said, of having that all-inclusive kind of thing with very open. I'm losing my train of thought while I'm doing this. This happens a lot. if you've heard the show before, but I feel like you kind of get what I'm saying with that.
I do, yeah. I really like keeping the values of what we founded it on, which of course, as I mentioned, is inclusivity. Gatekeeping maliciously will get you kicked out. Like, I just don't like jerks. The other rule is like, a lot of times I would see like a nice picture of a female actress from the Toho library, and the comments I just see on those kind of pictures, like it's just like a nice headshot. And of course, women are beautiful, but some of the stuff some of those guys say in those threads just grosses me the hell out. It's just ridiculous. So that became another one of our rules. I'm like, dude, just be respectful.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that like a lot of the times, probably the most relevant one would be Millie Bobby Brown in Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. I've seen too much weird stuff surrounding her, and it's
Yeah,
I don't like
we
it.
had some really
Poor
bad
fucking gross, man.
experiences at a particular convention where the fans would like scream out, "Oh my God, we love you, Millie! Oh, woohoo, woohoo!" and whistle and stuff during the screening of Godzilla vs. Kong at the Pickwick Theater. Yeah, not great. Really creepy. That it was kind of like all the above. It was the bad gatekeeping. It was the harassment of other fans, and it was creepy people like that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just start my own group in my own corner.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see someone like kind of putting their foot down on that stuff, because you're right with like other groups, like it's a problem that people let slide way too often, I feel. And not only that, all the other things you mentioned too, just like the harassment, just because there's no slurs present or anything, like it's fine, there's no hateful language when there kind of is. But yeah, you really have done a great job, creating this community that like everyone, I don't know every single person in the group, but the people who I do interact with are people I have since gotten along with very, very well. Both people I've known in the past before the creation of the group, and also people who, have kind of newcomers, not really newcomers specifically, but people I didn't know beforehand. Like I don't think, well, I'll use a screen name. I don't want to dox him or anything, but I don't think I really talked to Daikaiju Chris much before the formation of KU. Really, I maybe knew of him, but now he's a great dude.
Yeah, totally. Like some of my other admins, one of which I met through forming this group. I'll just use our fun Discord screen names. So like Baramy, he joined our group and was such a great regular poster that I offered him the admin position because he was so interactive with the community. He always posts, like he was just rock solid, and I love having him. And even just on the Discord side, we do have a Kaiju United Discord that's active right now while the site is being built. The Discord is just full of regular people that just kind of contribute to everything they enjoy. It's not just like Kaiju is the like building block, the base level. But so many of us are into other stuff. Like you specifically, David, I know are like a heavy metal guy. And I
Correct.
think that's
Hey, me too.
also, yeah, you too, Brian.
You don't interact in the group though, in the Discord though, Brian.
I lurk very hard. I do like the energy in there, but
Okay.
I'm very much a lurker.
That's fine, man. I'm kind of a hermit too, like IRL, but I really
my
like
thing
the.
is, sorry, you
do
go
like-
ahead.
You're good, man. It's just like the culture in there of regulars. But what I was saying is like we're all kaiju fans, and that's like the commonality that we formed initially. But some of us have become such great friends that was just the starting point. Like me and David can talk about metal or like horror movies that are coming out, and I really think that's a really important part of this community. We are kaiju fans and Toku fans, but I think there's so much more to us as people.
Yeah, 100%. I
Well,
mean,
Also, like metal and kaiju stuff go pretty well together.
yeah, there's
as I've
obviously a lot
learned.
of overlap.
The weekend before now from recording.
Yeah, we can talk about that after during the
We'll talk
next
about that
segment.
later.
But yeah,
Yeah, totally.
no, for sure. Like obviously, there's a lot of overlap, but yeah, I mean, even here, like me and Brian, I mean, we've talked about this on one of our earlier episodes, but I mean, you and I became friends over Godzilla, and then we just kind of discovered other common interests, and now here we are. However many years later, we're doing a fucking podcast about Godzilla. So
15 years.
Ugh,
15,
gross.
16 years. One of those.
But yeah,
I've known
I mean,
David for like 8 or 9 now. Like,
yeah, and
I think it's 9. It was like 2013.
and I don't think we even like became like close friends until like not like
I think it
fairly
was
recently,
really
but like
I think it was like the 2019 convention.
yeah, and because we got very very drunk together, and that really kicked things
Real
off.
good bonding stuff right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And now look at us here. You're a friend of the show, so.
I'm happy to be. How many guests have you guys had on this show besides myself? So you've had Xenofauna on here.
He's kind of the
anyone
only
else?
one,
If we're counting Jake,
which we
too.
don't really count Jake. He was just like that was just a
He was
very much
in
a
the
wrong
studio.
place at the wrong time.
I
That's
think he
fair.
had fun. Maybe.
He's never come back, so I don't know.
No, if he wasn't having, if
I hope
he's not
this
coming
is,
back, he didn't have
I hope
fun.
this
That's
is
cool.
first of many because I do enjoy having these fun discussions about kaiju and Toku.
I would
Yeah,
love
I
this to
mean,
be the first of many, honestly.
It would be a lot of fun to have more guests on here because, like, it for the most part, it's just it's just Dave and I most of the time, just trying our hardest to like keep the conversation on track.
And like convince people we actually know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but I think that kind of adds to like what we're trying to go for.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh.
So So I got asked like what kind, because it was like you said, it was a Facebook group first. What kind of led to it, branching out into a Discord server and now a full blown website? Like what was kind of your game plan with it? Like did you expect it to like branch out like this?
I kind of expected to use Discord just because I knew it was really popular amongst users, especially younger users. I know
Gamers.
that Facebook has kind of a reputation. I'm sorry, Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook kind of has a boomer reputation, so I was kind of looking for ways to get off of Facebook but still maintain that community. Um, and I felt Discord was a really good way to have what we used to use, like internet forums back in the day, like Toho Kingdom forums and stuff. I feel like Discord is the modern version of that because you have all these different channels that anyone can contribute to at any time. You have screen names, you have like roles and badges and stuff. It just felt more modern to me using Discord. Though as for the website, that was actually more of Sean's idea. I was just kind of looking for ways to branch out, and he was like, why don't we just make a full.com website and start contributing stuff? Look at all these great people in this group that have things to say.
All right, yeah, yeah. That's much more succinct than I was expecting, but that's not a bad thing, of course.
All right. I mean, I guess like, you're making a website now. Like, is this kind of like your natural like endpoint for expansion, or are you looking to go like farther, like even after like website, like some other kind of expansion?
I think
I
we'd
don't know.
want to save that for the part 2 for when Sean's on here to like see, because I think that's the whole point of having Sean on here is to like
Oh,
get him to like see like
It
that's
is a
gonna be like.
really good question, though, that I don't have the answer to quite yet.
I
Um,
figured, but like, I don't know.
it is definitely like a new chapter for sure because I can tell you guys what we're planning on having in this episode, but we can dive in a little deeper in part 2. So like I want to have like artist galleries to where you can click on their art, and eventually I want to have a storefront to where if you buy a print that'll go straight to the artist that owns that print. Um Obviously we'll have videos, podcasts. We're working on Godzilla in 4 colors will release before the site is up, and that's like a comprehensive history of Godzilla comic books. I'm really excited for that. I'll be recording that on a couple days after this is recorded. Um, and just like articles, reviews, and it's an open door policy. So like anyone can email us and pitch whatever. And if we like what it is, we'll cover it. But it's also more of like a platform for voices. It's not just like you work for Kaiju United. I don't like that at all. It's more of like once the ball's rolling, we can use the Kaiju United name, as a platform for you to throw your stuff up on. You still own everything that you create.
Right. So it's basically like you want it to be like a loudspeaker to advertise like, people's, artwork or, what have you.
Yeah, it's
I
like
like that.
it's like a
'Cause-
billboard for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have like a fanzine that's being worked on by a member. David's working on like an editorial piece, and it's not like we're gonna own that stuff. It's just like you're contributing to a community platform. It's the big word that I keep saying is community, and we really mean it. It's not some like fake company corporate branding that's like we're a family. It really is a community.
We're a family now. Give me 20% of your profits. That was a joke.
It was funny, Ryan. Don't worry.
No, it wasn't. I know. Don't patronize me.
Why? I do it all the time.
That's fair.
So I'm curious. You kind of teased some of the stuff that was gonna be on the site when it launches. Do you want to go into a little more detail of exactly what's going to be on there, or do you want to maybe say like keep some of them more under wraps for now, or maybe do it
I'm
on the
gonna
next episode?
I will keep a few under wraps, but like, what can I talk about right now? Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, Godzilla in Four Colors will debut as like a Kaiju over piece. You guys can all listen to that as the website is being built because it's going to go from Marvel Comics to IDW Comics. That'll be definitely really exciting. We have a military historian and author, John T. Steiner, is working on a funny piece called, I think it's something like, You're Fighting the Kaiju Wrong. So he's breaking down kind of the military tactics that Toho uses in the movies and why they're just like illogical from a military historian perspective. And he's
That
not
sounds
like
pretty
a
awesome.
yeah, he's not like a super huge Godzilla fan, so it's kind of cool to have an outsider voice like that. And yeah, I'm excited for that one specifically. I've read the beta reads, and it's really funny. It's well written. It's humorous.
I mean, that's like kind of like how you're talking about how you have like kaiju is like the just like a starting point, and you bond with your members over other things. Like I'm big into history and like military tactics and stuff like that. Like I constantly read and watch videos about it, and so that is just a different interest I have, and now it's being joined with kaiju stuff, and I'm big into that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Like, and it's something you wouldn't expect. Like, obviously, like I'm writing about Ultraman for the site, partially because I couldn't really find anyone that wanted to write about Ultraman, so I was like, I'll do it because I love Ultraman. We'll have pieces like that. Like I'm working on something called Ultraman Genesis. Like it's basically like the development of the Ultraman franchise as we know it and what led to that. And then I kind of review the stage play that is called The Birth of Ultraman, which kind of was like a big advertisement for the show itself.
Which I still haven't seen. I have to track down a copy of that because, as far as I know, it's only in that like one Mill Creek release. That's I think called The Birth of Ultraman, and it has like that and a couple of dubbed
It's the
episodes.
Mill Creek release that is called The Birth of Ultraman. So obviously you'll have really hard reading stuff like that where it's just the facts, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, really more editorial academic stuff like the history of this. But you'll also have cool stuff like that military tactics piece that's just supposed to be fun. Um, even just like reviews, like there might be a couple nice film fest junket style reviews that are 500 words that are just like short, sweet, and to the point, covering movies. But also, I forgot to add, I was telling you guys, and we've talked about, Kaiju's kind of the starting point. We also want to have like a database. Like if you click on a review of Godzilla 54, you would be able to click on Ishiro Honda, seeing his entire filmography. And then I want people on the site to cover the films that aren't kaiju films, like Eagle of the Pacific or something like that, or Farewell Raboul, some of the lesser known Honda films, just so people can also get a nice experience in like Japanese cinema and stuff.
Yeah,
That sounds like it's going towards like a Wikipedia type site, just with more variety. I mean, like that in a good way, though, because crowdsourced
Yeah,
and all
I,
that.
I think it kind of incorporates elements from websites that have long standed. Like you have your review site, kind of blog style. You have the database wiki kind of stuff, and then you have like galleries and portfolios and stuff. Um,
Fun.
just all kinds of stuff that'll really shine out. And I used like the bio in all our social media is bringing the best of the kaiju and toku community to the forefront of the internet. It's kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah, honestly, like it's cool because I feel like just in general, like the quote unquote fan site is kind of a lost art nowadays. Like for Kaiju and Godzilla especially, like the mid 2000s were like rife with those. Barry's Temple of Godzilla, Kaiju Headquarters, that was always my favorite, and Toho Kingdom, which is still live and updates, but it's definitely not as popular nowadays. It's kind of a shame that a lot of those aren't as big as they used to be. So the fact that you guys are kind of bringing that back and kind of putting sort of a modern spin on that is really, really cool, and I hope maybe it'll lead to more down the line. But yeah, it's just cool to kind of see that sort of concept be brought back from the dead in a way.
I totally agree. And I want to say, like, there is no competition. Um, like, if a writer from Toho Kingdom wants to write for us, the door's open. There's no, I'm not out to shut people down. I'm not out to, uh, eradicate or uh, be better than all the rest of the sites. It's just not what we're doing, and I just want to be transparent is the right word. Transparent about that. It's not a competition. Like, we're just here because we enjoy this stuff too.
I mean, that's the whole point of the, the united in the title thing, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like united, man. Um, definitely like, um, man, I lost my train of thought there. Nice. I'm so glad we can edit. Um, like, yeah, it's I do feel like fan sites are kind of gone away, and like Facebook groups kind of took over a little bit, but I think there's still room for .com sites. Like, um, people share articles from um I mean Fangoria, from Dread Central, from unfortunately we got this covered. You know,
Giant
all the
freaking robot.
time. Giant freaking robot gets shared. And these are like I mean, back when MCU Cosmic was a thing a couple years
Oh, I
ago,
forgot
like
about that.
all these .com websites like share news and stuff, and we'll have some news, but I think there should be a little more to it that'll get people coming to your site.
Yeah, it definitely.
I mean,
Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say I think it's like a pretty much perfect timing to have a website like this come up because, like as you said, like Facebook groups are kind of on the out because Facebook's kind of on the out, and well, like Twitter has never really been a place for that kind of thing, and I guess the only other place that would be like a good alternative to just a full website would be Reddit, and you already have a Reddit made. So like just like it's perfect timing to bring like a whole website into this because you have those platforms kind of on the out, and people are going to be looking for something to like satiate their hunger for a community.
Yeah, totally. And like, I also think the timing is nice because now is the best time to be a kaiju fan. I think there
True.
is so much out there right now.
Yeah, Dave and I were talked about this on I don't remember what episode it was, but like we were basically saying how much variety there is right now. Like just there you have stuff, coming out of Japan, you have stuff coming out of the US, you have like a bunch of fan projects and like you just have all this stuff and it's super exciting.
And
And a lot of people are being brought into the genre and it's great to see.
totally, and I don't think we've reached the peak yet because
No.
I was like, and I'm gonna date this episode a little bit. I apologize in advance, but I thought like, wow, what could possibly top what we're getting? Like we're getting like another movie with Godzilla and Kong in it. We're getting like an Apple TV Plus MonsterVerse show. We're getting like a Kong Skull Island anime. We're getting a Disney Plus King Kong TV show. Like what could possibly happen next? And then like last weekend, they're like, "Hey guys, guess what? Gamera's back."
Oh my god. So excited.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a shock to pretty much everyone in the kaiju fandom. I'd say.
I mean,
And-
I'm going through all the Gamera movies now, and I just saw the best one, so I'm very, very psyched now.
Yeah. So.
Oh, which one was the best one?
Uh, Gamera 3.
That's a good
whichever
one.
What
I
was
like
it? What
I
was
like
it called?
Gamera Guardian of the Universe.
Is that the one, Dave? What was the one that I just saw?
It was,
I
yes,
forgot.
it was. It was
Just
like yesterday, Brian.
No,
Gamera
it was
3.
Saturday. And also, I was recovering from a really, really bad hangover kind of thing.
Oh,
so my
excuses,
brain's
excuses.
foggy. I know. I
Um,
puked that morning.
I got another thing to add with like reviews and stuff on this site and community. Just because someone else has reviewed the movie doesn't mean you can like pitch a review to us of the same movie, because not everyone's gonna like or dislike the same movie. It's all subjective, and it's cool, but I think in response to what I've seen on in the community and on the forums and stuff, I do feel like people get a little too overtly critical and negative. So I want to challenge everybody in here, including you guys and the listeners. Even if you don't like a movie, find 5 things you did like about it. Even if it's a god awful, like horrible wreck of a movie that you just didn't like or vibe with, find 5 things you did like.
Every chance we get, or at least me, we're critical of like King of the Monsters. But I mean, I think, I like to at least preface me going off about that movie and saying like, if you like it, like I have nothing against it.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to, include positives even with a movie I don't like. Like, for example, I think both Brian and I are not overly fond of a good chunk of the Heisei era Godzilla films, but
Yeah.
they look good. They sound good. So it's got some incredible music, and the suits that Shinichi Wakasa built for all those films look incredible. Like, there are things I like about a lot of those movies, and of course outside of kaiju as well. Yeah, I've always tried to like keep some positivity in with any review.
And Yeah, totally. And I think keeping that positivity really changes like the culture, because I think um there's been a lot of cynicism with online reviewing throughout the decade,
Mhm.
like stuff like CinemaSins, where it's just kind of mean. It's not constructive. Like obviously not everyone's going to like the same movie. I do in fact like Godzilla King of the Monsters, but instead of being toxic and like fighting about it on this podcast, like we could all come up with 5 things we did like about it. And it just
Yeah.
totally changes the entire culture and vibe of not only our platform and your guys' platform as Talking Toku, but just the community as a whole.
Yeah, I really like having conversations with people with, like differing opinions on movies. Like my boss, he really liked King of the Monsters, and I don't like tell him a bunch of reasons why I think it's bad. I just like to talk to him and like hear why he likes it, like hear different perspectives about it. And that goes for just reading anyone's opinion on it, really, whether I agree with it or not. Like, I have a conversation with you about it, and I'm sure it'd be a fun time. Like, I think that people are just so mean with criticism nowadays, like you said, that like it's just not fun to read anymore, or not fun to listen to.
Yeah, and I just think it all kind of stems down to the origins of all of this. I just think there needs to be some changes within our own fandom and community, and even looking at neighboring communities. Like, look at the turmoil the Star Wars fandom is going through right now.
Oh my god.
Like that ain't good, man. We got to do better than that.
There's a reason I try. I love Star Wars, but try my best not to interact with anyone in the fandom.
And I don't want our fandom to be like that. I want the Kaiju and Toku fandom to be this awesome, welcoming place where newcomers and veterans alike can unite and, to have a great time and share their fucking love for shit,
Yeah, I especially considering like, I mean, we're kind of all of of like the same general age range. I mean, even way back when we were younger, like first getting into this stuff, it was a very niche kind of thing. Like, I mean, I personally didn't get like bullied for liking that stuff, but I know people did, and the fact that now it's like this big thing that like is readily available for people to watch. You have all the Showa Godzilla films on, HBO Max or Criterion Channel, Tubi. All the Ultraman stuff is on Tubi. All the Gamera films are there too. It's like it's like you said, it's like the best time to be a kaiju fan, whether you're a newer fan or an older fan. Now that people are, it's more readily available. People are discovering this stuff, and you'd think there would be more positivity surrounding it because of that. Now that people are getting into it, but again, there's still that kind of inherent toxicity and like almost hostility towards new fans, like with gatekeepers and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I don't know, man. It's not cool. It's not cool to gatekeep. It's not productive. Like, what happens if the gatekeepers gatekeep all this stuff and nobody new comes to this we'll just say film, television show, whatever that you're a fan of? If you gatekeep it enough, you don't pass the torch on to the next generation. And then it just falls off. Like,
It dies.
I can't think of any fandoms that are dead right now at the top of my head, but I've definitely seen it happen.
mm-hmm.
I mean, Dark Souls is pretty gatekeepy. I can tell you that one.
Yeah, oh man, I I tried playing Dark Souls and I just couldn't do it. But like, I don't know. It's just not cool to gatekeep, guys. I'll just leave it at that. Stop doing it.
We fight
Hard
against
agree.
that. We fight for that exact thing on here all the time. Don't worry.
We used to have a block on this show called the r/Godzilla block, and there were more than a few times where we brought in posts that were just people gatekeeping.
Yeah.
On the r/Godzilla subreddit, and we basically just lambasted them. I don't know. But we did away with that segment because no material. It seems like people quieted down on there.
Mm.
Maybe that's signifying another, like, a change in the community. Maybe perhaps Kaiju United will push that a little bit even more, and that's what I hope it does.
I hope so. I mean, I don't I don't understand why people gatekeep. I don't think it's necessarily because they want to keep the fandom pure. It's just because they want to feel special. And I feel like after a certain point, they just get over, like they're done. Like they've done what they want to do, and then they're out of there. I don't know. That's just me though.
What do you think, David?
I agree. I think Brian definitely is onto something there with like people wanting to feel special, because again, people did get bullied every so often for it, and like I on the one hand I do sort of understand it, but I don't condone it. Like I get it. You want this to be this was your thing, and now people are trying to take it from you. Then maybe the same people who teased you for that. So I get that there's like maybe some um oh god, my brain is just all over the place today. What is
It's
the
people
word?
wanting their like what they grew up with and what they find special to just be theirs. And whenever they see someone come into it, and it's the child mentality of like, no, you can't have that. It's mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of thing. That's where I like what I kind of observe from people. People have a billion different reasons for doing weird, terrible things. So
Yeah.
what do I know?
But thankfully, I've tried my best to distance myself from those people, and I mean, really, the only core group I really interact with nowadays is Kaiju United, which of course doesn't have any of that, and it's been so refreshing, honestly. Like I'm in a couple other kaiju groups, but I don't really interact there ever. Like, I'll leave a comment every so often, but I won't like actively post or anything. So it's really nice and refreshing to have this community where it's all about positivity, and that's really the whole point of the group, and B, us doing this episode focusing on the group. We want that to be more widespread. We want people to know that this group exists and it's out there for people for anyone who needs that space.
Yeah, and I will add that a fan is a fan. Like, if you have just watched the MonsterVerse movies and you're looking for the next step, or if you're looking for some more kaiju to watch now that you've burned through Godzilla, or you're like me and you've been in this fandom and community for 10 plus years and you've seen almost every kaiju film on the planet. And that's not me saying I've seen more than you. That's just, you're a veteran. You've been there. You've seen the stuff. There's still more out there, man. Or, oh man, I just brain farted. But what I was saying is like a fan is a fan. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran or a casual. And that's emphasizing that United yet again in Kaiju United. And you're never like done. There's always something new to see. There's always something new to experience. And I hope people see that through this group. There's always going to be a cool new film that someone can recommend to you, and it might become your new favorite.
Yeah. There's always more. Exactly. I'm still discovering more stuff. I mean, haven't seen a whole lot of, well, up until recently I hadn't seen a whole lot of Ultraman, but there's a ton of like indie films too, like stuff like Kaiju Mono or something, or I know a lot of people like really really don't like this movie, but I don't know, and I don't know why this is the one that I'm getting off the top of my head, but Death Kappa, like that's a movie I've never seen. I'd like to see it to see exactly how bad it supposedly is, but that's again, and I've been part of I've been into kaiju since I was 3 years old, and there's still stuff I haven't seen or even heard of, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that doesn't make anybody like lesser or better of a fan. You're just a fan. It doesn't matter your experience, your age, what you've seen, how many figures you've bought. It doesn't matter. Like, we're all here because we like this stuff. Let's share our commonalities.
All right. Well, is Jacob, is there anything you kind of want to add? Last thoughts about Kaiju United before we let you go, before having you on again in 2 weeks.
I just want to say that anybody's welcome to not only join the Facebook group, but you can also email us at thekaijuunited@gmail.com. That's THE Kaiju United, the Kaiju United @gmail.com. If you'd like to contribute articles, essays, reviews, or you just have an idea for content on the site, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear from you. And I can't wait to finally have the site live for everybody to enjoy.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Giganotosaurus.
Oh, the Joker. Let's go.
I was gonna say, Jacob, when does that site launch?
Our tentative launch date is March 7th. If it's done earlier, I will launch it earlier. But right now, look for March 2023, and we'll have a full site ready for you to go. It'll once March 7th hits, you'll have a full website with stuff to look at.
All right, and hello, it's current David and Brian here again. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Wow, wasn't that interview super fun and cool? I hope you liked it.
I hope you liked it too, because
I
we
remember
sure had
everything that happened. Was it my favorite part also your favorite part, Dave?
Yes, Brian, my favorite part was also your favorite part. Isn't that funny?
Awesome. I'm glad we're in agreement.
Cool. But yeah, it was really, really a treat having him on. And don't forget, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have him back on with Kaiju United co-founder Sean U. Santos. And they're going to talk about kind of what's going on with Kaiju United now that the site's launched, and kind of what they hope to accomplish going forward with their brand, I guess would be the correct terminology there. But yeah, just stay tuned for that. But now we're gonna move on to our last segment. What new cool kaiju thing are you checking out right now, Brian? Anything? How's Gamera going, Brian?
Dave, I've been very busy.
That's what you say. That's what they all say, Brian.
Yeah. Let me think. What have I been watching? Yeah, nothing yet. Sorry.
Damn.
Been working my way through other non-kaiju stuff.
Tisk, not doing your job as the Talking Toku co-host. Disappointing.
Been watching a lot of Better Call Saul.
That's not really Toku, I don't think.
No, it's not. But it is great.
That is true. I don't know. I'm sure if we really stretch it, even for our standards, I think we could find an argument for why Better Call Saul is tokusatsu.
Because Jimmy's got big energy.
He's got big energy. Okay.
Big energy. Actually, you know what? I do have something related.
Okay.
It's not big, and it's not strictly watching anything.
Okay.
But
it's never watching anything.
No, I finished the Terror of Mechagodzilla puzzle.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Have you framed it yet?
Huh?
Have you framed it yet, or are you gonna like glue it and frame it?
No. Our number one fan, Sam, is gluing it, or she has glued it. But then it has to like sit for like
I see.
a couple days, and then you can put it in like a frame or hang it somewhere.
Gotcha. I understand.
So it's big. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Really?
Gonna be.
It's what, 1,000 pieces, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really one for puzzles.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Very, very fun to make. Took a couple days in total. Yeah. I'm glad I got that off of the Mondo site, even though I'm still bummed that I didn't get the other Mechagodzilla poster.
I know, it sucks.
That shit still feels rigged to me.
One of these days.
I never saw a add to cart or purchase option at all. It was always sold.
Hey Brian, I have a confession to make.
What?
So
you got one, didn't you?
No, I did not get one.
Okay.
I wish. But when I went back to the because the same thing happened to me. I never once saw that it was in stock. The reason for that being is because I may have misread the time it went on sale.
Oh, you dick.
Yeah, I thought it was 12 Central Standard. So it would have been 1 hour ahead for me. So it would have been 1 o'clock, but it was actually 11 Central. So it actually went on sale for 12 o'clock. So we were just an hour late. That's what happened there.
Dave,
I'm sorry, Brian. I've been keeping this secret for so long. I can't keep it in any longer. I'm sorry.
this is all your fault.
I know.
You owe me a poster.
I don't owe you shit, Brian.
You owe me a poster.
Well, Brian, maybe the thing I got you for your birthday will be a poster. You'll just have to wait and see now, won't you?
I guess I will.
I'm curious. I'm gonna check my email right now to see if maybe I got an email that it was delivered, because they sent me an email saying,
I could go run and check my front door right now with the recording going. And you
"Oh
can
my
hear me
god!"
open
And then
my
you can
door
come
and
back
shit.
here and
Do an unboxing.
yeah, do an unboxing.
All right. Yeah. One sec.
Okay, cool.
Well, that was a waste because nothing.
Yeah, I checked the tracking and it said still out for delivery. So, oh well.
I am pretty far from the post office, so I imagine I'm not nearly the first stop on their
It
delivery
said
route.
expected delivery between 3:45 and 4:45.
Wow. So that's in like 10 minutes. You want to sit here in complete silence and wait?
That sounds cool, but I mean I would if you weren't on a time limit. So,
No, I got cooking to do.
exactly. So
Can't do that.
unfortunately, but yeah, again, maybe it will be a poster. You never know. You'll have to keep me updated. But
Could be.
well, as for what I've been checking out, I finally picked up the Godzilla art of Kaida Yuji. So it's just a art book of all the Godzilla art that Yuji Kaida has done over the years. If anyone listening to this show is not familiar with Yuji Kaida, shame on you. He's like one of the best artists in the game for Godzilla art. Most of it is usually licensed. Like a lot of the stuff is used for various promotional posters and whatnot. It's great. It's really nice having that book. Shout out to my girlfriend for giving me a Barnes & Noble gift card for Christmas that I used it on. So yeah.
Left.
But yeah, hey, if you're not familiar with Yuji Kaida, this is a great way to kind of see some of his work. He does some absolutely beautiful stuff. I mean, he did at least 2 Japanese posters for Godzilla King of the Monsters, at least. And for the gamers out there, if you bought the limited run games collector's edition of Dawn of the Monsters, which hey, I did, he designed the box art for that as well. So
Hell yeah.
yeah. But it's an art book, not a whole lot to say about it, so that's kind of all there is, but it's really cool. I like having it. I wish there was more art books in the kaiju community, like officially, but whatever.
Gotta start a movement.
A movement, okay. All right, well, that has been Talking Toku, Boston and Bellingham's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all their kaiju friends. Feel free to check us out on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, all at Talking Toku. Kaiju United is going to be launching very, very soon, March 7th. We will actually, this episode is actually going to be the first episode that will be featured on the website, because I believe Lingo is going to start embedding, I guess, the Spotify link or something into the website, starting with this episode. He asked me which episode to start with, and I said, I feel like the one where you're on would probably be the best one. He's like, yeah, that sounds good to me. So yeah, keep an eye out. We'll be featured on Kaiju United. I have an article on there that'll be up as part of the launch content. Brian was supposed to have sent a pitch into Kaiju United, and I don't think he ever did because he sucks.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay. But yeah, keep an eye out for all the cool stuff coming from Kaiju United. And yeah, like I said, we'll be back again in 2 weeks with Mr. Jacob Lingle and his partner in crime, Sean DeSantos, to talk more about Kaiju United. So we'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.